Hi guys, I'm really sorry I can't be with you again today. I have a meeting this afternoon that's just during seventh period, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have you guys do these butcher paper essay outlines instead of a traditional timed write. I heard you had one in government potentially today anyway, so try to give you a little bit of a break on that. Plus your self-help blog post is going to be kind of your final assessment individually with the Catcher in the Rye. So I thought we would do this group activity as well. Here's an explanation of what I'm asking you to do. And the purpose of this is that you have some practice with literary critical analysis. I'm not going to read all of this to you. These slides are in Classroom, so you can go back through them or you can pause this video if you need to. But your goal is to broaden and deepen your understanding of the Catcher in the Rye, and you're going to support that interpretation and create a thesis statement for your analysis that presents a strong argument. So I'm not giving you a particular prompt for this butcher paper essay. And when I say butcher paper, you might call it chart paper or just, the paper off the paper cart, bulletin board paper. There's a piece for each of you in the front of the room or for each group. And so I want you to come up with a thesis that is worthy of writing about on your own. Start with your envelope topic. You're going to work in your envelope topic groups. If you need a little bit of further instruction on how to get started with this, not instruction, but just inspiration or ideas. First of all, last week, you guys in your envelope groups did come up with some questions and led a discussion on your part of what you were looking for in the Catcher in the Rye. So you can go back and look at that. Somebody in your group can pull up a computer and go to that shared doc from last week. Also, yesterday I reminded you to look at the past question 3 prompts when you were working on the major work status sheet for the Catcher in the Rye. So you might want to look at those again too and see if you can use those as a way to tailor your thesis. And really the prompt that you're creating for yourself to produce this analytical essay. So you're breaking down an idea into its component parts, and you're evaluating that idea and presenting it to your audience, which is the rest of our class. These are the steps that I want you guys to go through today. Create a meaningful thesis statement for a paper analyzing the novel. I want you to write this. Sorry, that was the bell. Write this across the top of your paper. That should address the meaning of the work as a whole in some fashion without just saying that vague statement. It addresses the meaning of the work as a whole, but what is it? What is that meaning that you're asserting? Make the thesis statement at the top of the butcher paper large enough for everybody to be able to see it. If we put it up on the front chalkboard or we put it on the sideboard, everybody in the room should be able to see that thesis statement from where they're sitting in the room when we put them up. There's a note at the bottom of the slide. You might want to organize your evidence and your assertions before you write your thesis, because that's going to be the sort of meat of your essay. So you've already spent some time examining those, but start there again today. So take all your envelopes and review the paper or the quotes that you have inside. Maybe start by categorizing those in the order that supports the thesis in multiple ways. And then once you have some categories, and you might have duplicates between your group members, but create topic sentences and write those on the butcher paper. Make assertions that you're going to put and skip some space in between, because the next step is to tape or glue the slips of paper that support each of those assertions onto the butcher paper beneath each topic sentence. That's your evidence. And then you're going to write explanations of the data. Answer the questions, so what, in your commentary. So kind of maybe sketch this outline on a piece of notebook paper, a piece of scratch paper first, so that you know how you want it to look once you put it on the larger sheet of paper. I am going to grade you as a group for this. I want you to write a magical thesis statement. That's 10 points of the 100. 3 solid topic sentences or assertions, using that term, those terms interchangeably, with at least 2 examples or pieces of evidence to support each one. That's 15 points. I want you to write a pithy, wise close to knock our socks off. That can be just a sentence or 2 on the chart paper, but you're going to conclude your essay in some way. That's 5 points. If you don't know that word pithy, here's a quick vocab lesson. That's that means it's concise and forcefully expressive. So you always want to end on a good note. And then you are going to present these essays to the rest of the class. So 40 points of your total grade is going to be based on a clear, knowledgeable presentation that your group makes. So today you're going to get in groups by topic. If there's anybody, I know we've had a lot of people out, so if there's anybody who doesn't have a partner, at least one other person to work with, then figure out how you can join with another group, because I don't want you to be working by yourself on this. If you don't, I mean, you can, but I don't really think that would be the best use of your time. So you can join another group if you're in a singleton today. And then these are the steps you'll need to follow. Write all of your group members' names on the front of the paper. Do that today, whether you finish or whether you even get much else written on that paper, just so I'll know whose is whose for tomorrow. And then you're going to display your paper on the board or the wall, but that won't happen until at least tomorrow or maybe Monday. And then your group needs to be prepared to share, discuss your ideas for your essay with the class. This will probably not happen until Monday, and you'll have about 10 minutes or so per group. I would suggest that you do write yourself some additional notes to help in what you're going to say in your presentation, and decide who's going to say what. But this may be, again, tomorrow after you've gotten your ideas together, then you can start deciding who makes which part of the presentation. All right, so good luck with this, and let me see some progress when I come back. I will see you tomorrow.